Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle, and if you are a loyal subscriber, welcome back. It is so good to have you here, and thank you so much for all of the support. So I'm gonna jump right into it. So if you are on this video and if you have been having a lot of anxiety, trust me, if there's anybody who understands, it is me. So I used to have pretty bad anxiety in middle school, and I would have anxiety attacks. I remember this one time I was at the pet store with my friend and her mom, and I just got very overwhelmed. Like, I don't know why. Like, it was in the fish section. Like, I know I was kind of feeling bad for the fish, and I don't know, I just like felt like I lost control of my body kind of. Um and it was very scary. Like, I didn't know what was going on with my body. And it wasn't like I felt like I was going to pass out or something. You know, that has its very specific feeling. It wasn't that. It was just like anxiety. and so now my anxiety is not quite like that. Now I understand what is going on with my body, so it's not as quote unquote scary, but it is still not comfortable, right? When these anxiety, mm, I guess you could say attacks, but just like my anxiety increases, you know what I mean? It's still not comfortable. And so I just want to throw it out there that there's different levels of anxiety, you know, kind of like depression. There's different levels of depression. There's high functioning depression, and then there's, you know, very not looking good depression, right? Um, so, with that being said, I do feel like every different type of anxiety can have a treatment to it. You know what I mean? Like, every different type of anxiety could there's different ways to kind of cope with them, right? So, for example, when I was in like that middle school type of anxiety where I didn't understand what was going on with my body and things like that. So, I think there's a time in anxiety where it's best just to kind of learn about it. You know, why, what is anxiety? Where does it come from? What are the symptoms in your body? You know, and the word heart attack used to really frighten me. It's still not my favorite word, but because when you're having an anxiety attack, sometimes you don't know, like, if your heart health is okay. And I used to kind of have a complex about my heart health, and I had to really understand and tell myself that my heart is perfectly fine. It's this anxiety that just maybe sometimes makes my heart beat fast, or things like that. And it even made me kind of afraid to have a baby because I would have to be getting these blood pressure and pulse readings all the time. And my blood pressure and pulse was actually perfect through my unmedicated labor. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of a testimony to trust your body, and don't let these symptoms scare you. You know what I mean? It's just the anxiety, period. You know what I mean? So I think that is beneficial for one stage, just kind of learning the symptoms and why it's happening, and the whole flight or fight concept. And so I also think herbs can be very beneficial. So my family and I, we personally know the doctors at nothinbutherbs.com. They used to live in Melbourne, Florida when we knew them, and now they live in Ohio. But they have an herb called Mind Power, and they also have an herb called Doctor's Total Nutrition. So I highly recommend both of those herbs. to anybody having anxiety. And I know when you're in the midst of anxiety, you feel like nothing's going to help, like, I'm going to have this forever type of thing, but, it doesn't have to be that way. I remember writing an email to someone because they know I kind of got through my anxiety, and they're asking me how I did it, and it was just kind of surreal writing the email to them because I was like, I can't believe like someone's coming to me to like for advice about anxiety, So, but I also want to say that CBD oil. So, like I said, I had pretty bad anxiety in middle school. No one would have known though. I it was very high functioning, and then like for sure, like totally went away. Like that's kind of when I was writing that email out to someone, and then like kind of like during the pandemic and type of like around that area, it kind of came back a little bit. I remember in February 2020, so it was like right before the start of all this pandemic stuff, I was having really bad anxiety. And side note, but I kind of think I had COVID at that time. 'Cause yeah, like I heard a symptom of COVID is anxiety. So anyways, I was flying through this bottle of CBD oil and it was helping. Like it was totally helping. And so then I kind of went through a phase where I wasn't using the CBD oil because like I was almost out, and my anxiety was pretty well under control. So I stopped taking it. And then as of recent, my anxiety kind of came back, and I started using CBD oil again. And then again, it was helping. You know what I mean? So I definitely think there's something to be said with CBD oil and anxiety. So, you know that feeling when you're kind of getting anxious and you kind of can't catch your breath? Um, I guess you could say hyperventilating, but it's not like the, kind of what you think of, like the, it doesn't even have to look like that, it can be very subtle. Someone could be sitting right next to you and they don't even know it's happening, you know what I mean? So, CBD oil is very good, like when you're kind of in that body state. So, that's kind of happened to me, and I put like maybe 8 or 10 drops under my tongue, and just letting it sit under my tongue, I can feel the difference in my body. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, it's seriously such a miracle. Yeah, it's just that whole feeling of anxiety, that anxious, it just falls away. And I could see it in my daughter too. So sometimes I'll give my daughter CBD oil drops, and she even asks for them. She really loves them. And babies have a very good connection with, animals or good and bad things. And, the fact that she asked for it, it's like very telling to me that it is good, especially for her. If she's asking for it, it means it's good for her. So, yeah, and I know some people have kind of like a bad connotation or something with CBD oil. I could kind of see it, because you don't know maybe the source or something like that. But where I get CBD oil from, I really trust the source, and like, so that's a non-issue for me. And so if you trust the source and you do your research about what CBD oil does in general, I think you can maybe come to your own conclusion about, if it's something you want to try or not. I am someone that I'm very, like anti-drug and very anti-chemicals. I want to do everything safely, stuff like that. And so I openly take CBD oil. So, it's just something to think about. But yeah, if you are struggling with anxiety, like there is a way through, and I definitely think CBD oil could help you, along with the 2 herbs I mentioned before, the Mind Power and Doctor's Total Nutrition from nothinbutherbs.com. And let me think if there's anything else. There's also some, because someone recently asked me what to do for anxiety, and I told them a couple things. It's also in my fear of blood pressure and pulse video. I talked about them. It's like the Rescue Remedy. They're these little kind of like tablet things. You put them in your mouth and you can like definitely feel the anxiety melt away as well with those. And she told me it works, like, and she was pretty happy about that. Yeah, and also lemon balm tea really helps. I used to drink that tea on the way to my prenatal workouts, and I would also take a Rescue Remedy. Rescue Remedy has little tablets, and they have drops, and they have like a calming lotion. Yeah, so anything Rescue Remedy I highly recommend. And also, I'm here, this is a video of St. Augustine, Florida, and I just took a little capture of the beach. I figured I would show it in this video to be something relaxing to look at. So yeah, if you could go on a walk outside or do anything to get outside, garden, play some basketball, you know, whatever is your idea of fun outside. If you live near the beach, of course, definitely go to the beach, breathe in that fresh air, get in salt water, rub your toes between the sand. I'm telling you, it is like therapy. And so anything outside, any exercise, get your blood moving. Also, like, just sitting down and kind of like organizing, I don't want to say your life, but kind of like think about like what is stressing you out. Like if it's your future stressing you out, then kind of sit down and think about like what is your goals? How are you getting to them? Like what's the worst case scenario? You know, if XYZ doesn't happen, like what's the worst that could happen, you know, and trying to kind of face your fears in a way. So like I said, my fear was like feeling like my heart wasn't healthy, or like I had, you know, bad blood pressure or something, and I faced my fears um, during my whole like pregnancy and labor situation with my daughter, and before that, because I had to get ready for that, you know what I mean. um, yeah, so really like think about your fear. So if you have a fear of heights, you know, like the probability of like the building falling down, or you know that you're on top of, or you know that probability is super super low. I have a fear of elevators. It's like if there's stairs, I would prefer to take the stairs, but you know, if the situation is like you pretty much have to take the elevator, then like I'll take it, you know? Like as long as I'm not by myself. I will not take an elevator by myself. Um so yeah, like I'll get in an elevator, you know. It's just not like my favorite thing to do, but like I face that, you know what I mean? Cuz I realize the odds of something happening are so low, you know? I purposely didn't have any notes for this video. I usually kind of have like a layout of how I want the video to go, but for this video, I really just wanted to talk and kind of see what came out, because there's so many like layer like files in my brain about anxiety, and it's like I knew it wouldn't come out logically. I knew it would just come creatively. And so I hope this video helped, because I feel like I was a little bit random, but you know, so overall I would say check out Nothin But Herbs. Even like if you want, give them a call and see what they recommend for you. Um, and you know, sometimes it might be like something you're not thinking of that's causing your anxiety. Like maybe you're like, this sounds crazy, but like maybe you're using a fabric softener, and that's like irritating your like your breathing or something, you know what I mean? And then maybe your breathing gets weird, and then that gives you anxiety. Or like maybe it's red dye. I think number 2, I'm not sure, but there's a red dye that's very popular, and that can like increase ADHD and like things like that. There's also there's a cereal, every time I eat it I get a headache. Well, I don't eat it anymore because I mean that's not fun, right? But I just noticed the pattern and then I stopped eating it. And I'm pretty sure it's from like, I think it's not THC, TB. It's like 3 letters and it's a preservative. Um, so the point is, like, look at the food you're eating. Maybe do a hair analysis. I have a video about that I did. Or go to rootcauseclinic.com and you have to send in like hair, saliva, stuff like that. And then they do this whole reading on you, like, and then figure out what vitamins and stuff you need. You also might want to get like a blood panel done. Maybe there's, something will show up that you're low on there. Like I know I got that done and I was low on calcium, and that can kind of cause like anxiety. Magnesium too, if you're low on magnesium, that can cause anxiety. Um, so, look at your environment, look at what you're putting into your body and around you. Like I said, fabric softener, just like really think what can be causing this and then what can I do. So, Nothin But Herbs, Rescue Remedy, CBD oil, getting out in nature, having like a positive outlook as much as you can, praying. How could I get this long in the video without saying that? Of course, like understand God is always with you. And there's something I want to share. Okay, so I was on Pinterest and I saw this really neat story. So it's like someone just got over their life, right? They quit their life. They quit their relationship, they quit their job, they sold their house, they sold everything, and then they like walked into the forest apparently, right? And they're asking God like, like I quit everything, I'm done. Like give me one reason why I shouldn't quit. And so God showed them the story about how like God planted a fern and a bamboo seed the same day, right? And very quickly the fern is growing. After 1 year, the bamboo showing nothing. 2 years, nothing. 3 years, nothing. 4 years, nothing. It wasn't until the 5th year that the bamboo even had a sprout. That's right. Meanwhile, the fern is over here like, thriving and just everywhere, right? The bamboo only had a sprout. But in 6 months, the bamboo shot up 100 feet. So that whole time that, it looked like nothing was happening or, things like that, the bamboo was growing roots into the ground. Because the fern is a vine, right? The fern doesn't really need, or is it? I don't know. I don't think it's a vine, but a fern doesn't need super deep roots, right? So it can grow up out of the ground very fast, But the bamboo, it grows up super, super tall, so it needs roots that can match that, you know what I mean? And so the point is, if you're waiting on God or you're wondering why is nothing happening in my life? I feel like I'm at a standstill, like nothing's moving, nothing's progressing. You are more than likely building the roots way, way, way deep down because you're gonna rise over a lot of people, over a lot of opportunities. You'll be surprised what God can do in your life, what can happen, how things can change, how mountains can move for you. Like, there's a reason why miracle is a word. There's a reason why people's lives turn around. There's a reason why, like, the whole started from the bottom, now I'm here type of thing. There's a reason that's a thing because it can happen. Your life can totally turn around. And so I think part of anxiety is you're worried about the future. And, I hope that bamboo story can help you because I've kind of been holding on to that lately. It's really helped me. And so I'm at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and end here. Let me know if you like this style of video where I'm just talking because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. But Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to put links to everything I mentioned down below, so go ahead and definitely check out my description box. And please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. And if you have anxiety, I'm going to say a big prayer for you guys tonight, because those prayers will definitely reach you. And thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.